Hello everyone and welcome back to Python Lessons on Codecademy. So today we're starting off with a brand new topic which is actually going to be the last one. So please tell me what you would want to see after the Python lessons are finished. I think that there will only be 2 more lessons of Python and then we will be moving on. So let's see what our task requires us to do. This topic is all about opening, writing, editing, and doing different kinds of stuff to files. So let's see. Until now, the Python code you've been writing comes from one source and only goes to one place. You type it in at the keyboard and its results are displayed in the console. But what if you want to read information from a file on your computer and write that information to another file? This process is called file input-output, and Python has a number of built-in functions that handle this for you. Check out the code in the editor to the right. Note that you now have an extra output.txt tab, which is just an empty text file. That's all about to change, okay? So click Save and Submit Code, then check out the output.txt tab to see Python's file input-output powers in action. Okay, let's see then. Okay, so that's where we have the tab. For some reason I was expecting to get a tab like that. Don't know why. So that's our script and that's our output. So let's see what this does. So we use list comprehension to create a list of square numbers for all of the numbers from 1 to 10. Then we make a new file called output.txt. And we're saying that we want to write to it. The open just means that we're using a file. It doesn't mean we're opening it. Then we say for each item in our list, write it down in output.txt and add a new line to it, which is basically just leave an enter after each time you've entered something. And then at the end we close our file. So because we call it f, we just do f.close and parentheses. If you don't do the f.close, you won't be able to manually access the file. So that's this explained in simple terms. So let's move on. The open function. Let's walk through the process of writing to a file one step at a time. The first code that you saw executed in the previous exercise was this. So f equals open, name of the file, and what you want to do to it. You can do W, which is write, A, which is append, so add onto, or R, which is read. You can't edit the file in any way. You can just access it to use for something else. This told Python to open output.txt in W mode. W stands for write. We store the result of this operation in a file object f. So if you're writing, then everything that was in that file before you opened it, gets destroyed. Doing this opens the file in write mode and prepares Python to send data into the file. So create a variable, myFile, and set it to calling open function on output.txt. Okay, and then in this case pass r plus. I don't know what that is. As a second argument to the function, so the file will allow you to read and write to it. So it allows us to read and write. Okay, that's interesting. So save and submit, that works. Let's just read the hint. So you can open files in write only mode, read only mode, read and write mode, and append mode A, which adds any new data you write to the file to the end of the file. Okay, so is there any way to do read plus append? I wonder. That would be an interesting feature if it existed. So okay, let's see. So good work. Now it's time to write some data to our output.txt file. We've added the list comprehension from our first exercise to the code in the editor, so because we already know how to do that. Our goal in this exercise will be to write each element of that list to output.txt, shown in a new tab above the editor. So this tab. we can write to a Python file like so. So you do the name of your file, so whatever you named the equals open, in our case my file, then you do dot write and whatever you want to write to the file. The write function takes a string argument, so we'll need to do a few things here. You must close the file. You do this simply by calling myfile.close. We did this for you in the last exercise. If you don't close your file, Python won't write to it properly. From here on out, you gotta close your files, okay? So our instructions are iterate over my list, so and my list. Use myfile.write to write each value to output.txt. So let's do that. When you're opening a file and just reading from it, not doing anything else, I think that you don't have to close it at the end. I think that Python automatically closes it, but I'm not completely sure. So we want to write. What do we want to write? We want to write the string of n. And then we want to add a new line comment, which is \n. I think that's what we should do. So make sure to call string on the iterating data, so .write will accept it. Make sure to add a new line after each element to ensure that each will appear on its own line. Use myfile.close to close the file when you are done. So that's the only thing that we have left to do. Let's save and submit, and we have something wrong. Okay, let's see. So our file doesn't contain each element of line. So what's wrong? Unsupported operand type S for plus none type and str. That's a string of n. Oh no, not there. We need to. Oops, what did I just do? We need to put that there. There we go. So that's our output. We get every number from 1 to 10 squared. So I pretty much explained this in the example, but I will do it again. So we make a mylist, which is a comprehension of a list for every square number. Then we make a file which we can read and write to, and then we go through our list which has the square numbers and append or write each of those values onto our output.txt. So let's move on. If you have any questions, then please do ask in the comments. Excellent, you're a pro. Okay, thank you. Finally, we want to know how to read from our output.txt file. As you might expect, we do this with the read function like so. Oh, actually, I never knew that existed for some reason. Okay, that's cool. Declare a variable, myfile, and set it equal to the file object returned by calling open with both output.txt and r. So if you actually do this in Python, not in Codecademy, you put write there, you will actually make a new file called output.txt in the folder where your program is found. So wherever you saved your Python program, you will get the file. Or you can also specify a path. So for example, I don't know, C, and then I don't know, users, and so on. You can do either of those. But like this, you just use the folder in which your program is found. If you do read on a file which doesn't exist, it's going to give you an error. And if you do read plus, it's probably also going to give you an error. Or actually it might not, because you are also writing to it. So I'm not actually sure about that one. Okay, so let's actually see what the task wants us to do. Next, print the result of using .read on my file, like the example of above. Okay, let's do that. Make sure to close when you are done. All kinds of doom will happen if you don't. I kind of want to try it, but I won't. I think that it kind of bugs out. I don't know what actually happens in Codecademy, but I know that in a Python file, in your own Python, it doesn't allow you to delete the file, so it's kind of like a corrupt file. But I think that you can run the code to do .close, and then you can use the file like a normal file. I'm not sure though. You can try that out yourselves. So let's see. And that was correct. So in the next lesson we will be finishing off our Python course. So that's fun. We've done quite a lot of work. So if you've been following along, thanks. But next time we will actually be completely finishing off. This is just the next to last episode. And do please tell me what you would like to see after Python has finished, because I don't really know what to do. I think that I might do JavaScript, but I'm still not sure. So if you like this video, please click the like button. If also subscribe and share with your friends so that they can also learn something new. If you didn't like the video though, please do press the dislike button and tell me in the comments where you didn't like the video so that I can improve for next time. So until that next time, thanks for watching and goodbye.